Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 22 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2020. Thank you so much for being with me today. I have sort of phoned in my last two videos, one from the hospital, one from home yesterday, but I felt like they haven't been very good, and you can tell by my line work that I've got some work to do. So I am in quite a bit of pain today. I have just finished my physical therapy and all of my appointments for today. It's 4 in the afternoon and I'm ready for a nap. So, of course, this is the time when we're going to do our video. So because of this, I've chosen a very simplistic-ish sort of tangle for today. It is called and it is by, I want to say Norwegian, Sandra Harsveld, but don't quote me on that. I can't remember for sure. She is also known as Kip. Everybody has a cool nickname. I don't have a cool nickname. All right. So Kip is very simple, and the part that I actually remember from the article that I read on tanglepatterns.com was that this reminded her of a DNA strand. And so we are going to do our best to sort of make that happen. So we are going to make sort of an X, I don't know if I can explain it. Let me just show you. I'm going to sort of make a wavy X shape that is sort of reminiscent of a DNA strand. There you go. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to cross it over like this. And so you can sort of see the helix sort of thing going on, right? So this is a tangle that works with a disguise. I love intrigue, so we're going to enjoy that. We are going to fill these lines with orbs, and then we're going to black them. And the sneaky part of this is that the blacking is going to disguise the lines. We're going to leave a little sparkle in there. For the person that asked about a video or something with sparkling in there, I don't think I have a video like that. I have addressed sparkling a couple of times, but we will just try to hit that as we go in these videos, and that comes up, and I will try at the next nearest opportunity to work that in somewhere. What we're going to do with these is more like less sparkling and more leaving a little highlight. Okay, so the orbs can be, you know, pretty much however large or small as you like, and but we want to bunch them all up over here. And you know, if your lines cross a little bit, don't worry, because remember, we're going to be doing some disguising here anyway, and it's all going to work out. You just want them to lightly touch each other. And then I'll show you where the magic happens. And almost all tangles have a magic part. I do like those. So I really need to squish another one in. I guess I could put one right in between there. I think I'll do that. I think I just decided which side my highlight was going to be on. And just finish out your lines with these little decent size orbs. If you want them larger or smaller, you may make them as you wish. Just consider that we are going to be blacking these. So I don't know how much actual blacking you want to do. Okay? So the next choice here is to decide where you want your highlight. We are going to be doing these little balls or orbs in this way. There's a line going through it, right? So we're going to want to choose a part of this that we can put a little highlight in. And so the easiest way to do that is just to pick a section and draw a circle in it and black around that circle. Like this, okay? Now, for me, I tend to like to do my little highlights on these black orbs. I tend to like to do mine in a little bit of a, what would you call that? Sort of, I don't know. I have no analogies, no metaphors today. I'm here and I'm drawing, and that's all I care about. I like to do mine like this, sort of a little teardrop shape maybe. So you may choose whichever you want to do, but you will find that there's going to be a few on here that are going to be difficult for you to fit the highlight in. So, like for example, on this one, there's only one place you can put the highlight. Am I right? It's going to go right here in the middle. And I'm just going to put my little teardrop shape and carefully black around it. Remember, we don't care about the line, so just black right on over it. And this is going to enhance that orb-like feeling. All right. I think that looks pretty good. Looks worse up close, but I don't care. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little highlights in each of these orbs and black them. Okay. The highlights aren't going to be exactly in the same place, of course. Now, again, this is, if in true Zentangle fashion, you would simply put the highlighted portion in the exact same place on every orb, regardless of where the light source is. And so that's what I'm going to do, because we are in a non-light source having day today, meaning my brain can't wrap around the opportunities for changing this. If you were planning on keeping the light source constant, of course your highlights will shift depending on the position of the orb. But again, we don't really need that. We can make it work just like it is. And all we really want to do is give the feeling of one of these little blacked in beads. Okay. So highlight in the same place is awesome. Go for it. Remember, if you are one that does not like to black, and as I am or have been in the past, and I want you to look at this exercise as an opportunity to relax and sort of form a bond with the blacking process. Remember, if you go into it intentionally, that you are going to make this part of your meditational process, that you are going to focus on the little pools of ink as you draw them in, the way that the paper pulls the ink from the tip of your pen, called the nib. Just enjoy each one. Do your best to keep them fairly consistent, but of course that, as always, is a challenge. Now, some of you, I know, your pen puts down on the paper and you automatically have perfect circles. Actually, I don't think so. I think everybody has this issue. I think it has to do with the amount of time that you take with each orb. You know, ask it questions about itself, learn about its family, get to know them. They're going to be here for a while. Okay? So this is what we're going for on all of these. I think I'm going to do this section first. Then I'll speed up the blacking of the other sections because I want to go ahead and show you where we're going. And we're almost done. The longest part of this is the blacking portion. But remember, the slower you are, the more time you take with this blacking part. And even though you can see that these run right together, the way I've done it, that's okay. These little highlights are going to give your eye enough of a clue of what you're wanting it to see in order to make it work optically. And you can see that by the time we are done with each orb, there is no longer any line in there, right? Okay. So I have got a lot of comments to catch up on right now. I am putting my boot in the saddle, as we say, in the Southwest. Just trying to get going every day, get something accomplished, and be happy with that. Some days, guys, that's all you can do. Just do the best you can, get one thing accomplished, maybe two. In these days, just surviving the day is sometimes a good accomplishment. I want to encourage you guys, if you are feeling sort of bereft or lonesome or just freaking out a little bit, try audiobooks. I have read a lot of audiobooks over the last month and a half, and books are a wonderful way to take you out of your situation and cheer you up. Don't read the kind that make you crazy. You probably don't want to be reading any Stephen King, although that might definitely take you out of your funk. Whatever you decide to read, I want it to be something that helps you to feel better when you're done reading and not worse. Little one and I have been reading Harry Potter series. We have finished our first book and are about halfway through with the second. And then as soon as we finish reading a book, then we watch the movie together. And that has become one of our favorite parts of the summer, see, it feels like summer, of the COVID-19 isolation thing. But we have enjoyed reading together, and that is a great thing. Okay, so this is going to continue all the way down on both sides, all right? So the next part of the tangle is simply to join these up. Now, typically they'll go from orb to orb, and normally I would join these two, but as you can see, there's absolutely no place to join them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join these two, and I'm just going to make a simple line between them, okay? And I'm going to try to keep it fairly straight. I know what you're thinking, guys, but trust me. This is supposed to be reminiscent of the helix strands for DNA. The double helix. Oh. See what I did there? I just made some more room and evened us out. So I think I'm going to leave that there with this extra two beads. In some of the variations she has this with a double line. Simply like this. Don't worry if the angle of your lines change. That's part of it. as they shift, it causes you to see some movement in there, hopefully. And if it doesn't, we're going to be happy with it today anyway, because I have commanded it, and it shall be so. So sort of something like this you can also do. Now, if you want to go to tanglepatterns.com and look this up, and by Sandra Harsveld with a V, then you can see some of the step out art that is there. It's very pretty, and she has got some like hollabah type things going on in here that I think I may add to mine. I'm going to continue to black these orbs, put my little teardrop type of highlight in there. And you really only need a little bit of a highlight to make it work. Once the mind has seen what you've done already, get a little bit of that in there and it'll work for you. So I want to thank you guys for being out there waiting for these videos every day, because it is motivating me. And I appreciate it. I need motivation. And since I'm motivating for two, I really need motivation. Because little one doesn't like being motivated. He thinks he's on summer break. When I try to explain it to him, he doesn't understand. This is not a vacation. This is school. Do I have to? Yes, you have to. A little silly. So we will be doing another tireless comments portion, but we will stick it at the end, and so you don't have to stay for that part if you don't want to. But if you want to hear the skinny on all that's going on, then you may. Of course, we invite you to hear our shenanigans, because there are many shenanigans at this house. We like shenanigans. We thrive on them. Don't we, baby? Yeah. He doesn't sound very shenanigan-y today, does he? Trust me, it's in there. He's the shenanigan king. If you don't know what shenanigans are, shenanigans are mischievous activities with no good in mind. All right. So you can see this is very pretty. And it would be easy to fit in small spaces or larger to just bring a little bit of interest to. And you will also notice that I have managed to put my highlights in the same place, generally speaking, all the way around. Again, I don't sweat it if they're a little off center or out of whack, because we've done a good enough job on enough of them to give the impression of what we want. And anybody that's going to sit down and look at this close enough to know that one of these highlights is off, okay, more than one, they can just do that, because I am happy that they will spend the time on the art. But for me, I'm going to do a slow, careful job, enjoying it, enjoying the blacking process as I can. And I really have learned to enjoy it, guys. I really have, since last year, around this time, when I was really working on my own blacking issues, because I was trying to go too fast. And so, you know, it's easy to get in a hurry. It is easy to want to move on. I have so many creative ideas. I want to move on to the next one, but I'm telling you, you're shortchanging yourself if you can't slow down and take your time just a little bit. Then you're shortchanging yourself. because you're no longer enjoying the artistic process. You're just rushing through it. If you need a little bit more black on these in spots, go for it. All right. But I do appreciate you guys being there waiting on me so that I have a reason to get moving. I always feel like a wuss in physical therapy, but oh my God, is that painful. The physical therapist today told me that PT does not stand for physical therapy. It stands for pain and torture. And I'm here to tell you today he's right. Okay, so one of the things that Sandra did on her art was to weave, in fact, I think she wove a little zinger in here, but then I don't have one monotangle anymore. I may think about adding something extra. I may add an aura line around, but I really like this, and I think I like the double strands straight line thing here a little better. So I'm going to double each one of these. This is, again, my personal preference. You can do as you wish on yours. So I wanted to give you a suggestion on if you wanted to weave, say, a Muka tendril or a zinger tendril. Okay, we'll just put one zinger in there. So in Halaba is a Zentangle pattern, and it teaches the art of drawing behind, or the technique. I think of it as an art. And so you want to imagine you have a long, thin line that's running beneath these. And I'm going to put a little zinger top on it. And then let it go askew. Just one. And we're going to put in the rest of our stalk going back. Now, if I were really a boss, I would weave this in and out. And you could do that if you use a blacked line. And let me show you what I mean. So, in order to weave it, you would go over and then under, right? So, if I use a blacked line, I'm going to go over and then under, and then over, and then under, over, under, over, under, and I don't know what we're going to do with that. But if you have the line blacked, then you can't tell that it's going over. I mean, you know what I mean. You don't see the line showing through. That's what I mean. There you have it. And this one we will make a, I don't know what was with this. It's going to be all right. We'll just put a zinger on this too. It'll just be a very dark and broody zinger. Oh, he's very regimented. Just like that. So something to think about. A simple tangle. This will be great for sticking in strings that are long and skinny. and you could put as many or as few as you wanted. So this is the tangle and for shading, there's really only one place to shade, and that is if you decided to go under and over like here, then you could shade in those spots. But really, other than that, it's not necessary unless you wanted to say put a little drop shadow on here, because I'm not going to do that because we know what happens when I try the drop shadows. So this is my tile for and. I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you will enjoy drawing this tangle. And I am going to see you back tomorrow for day 23 of the 100 Days of Zentangle. Thank you guys for being here with me today, and I'll see you then.